Yeah, good evening, guys. Today's the class is day 14 and redundant manipulator. Today we are going to learn about a different type of manipulators and how it is going to work at real-time condition of robots and how the manipulator it is going to be useful for our real-time use cases of robots and what was the main motive of manipulator using of manipulator and how it is going to be work in the particular working principle. Here we can learn about that the there has a different type of manipulators and there has a subcategories and the categories of manipulators, and here we can see that redundant manipulator either a pattern manipulator with the more than 6 DOF or a planar multiplier with the more than 3 degrees of freedom. Mean that either it is has more than 6 degrees of freedom, mean that it can be called like in the robot of vertical abbreviator. It has containing of 6 degrees of freedom, 6 DOF that is called, and or planar manipulator with more than 3 degrees of freedom. We have in two type of categories that we have in a planar manipulator and as well as in a spectral manipulator. In the spectral manipulator mainly they are using in a 6 degrees of freedom. In a planar manipulator they are using a 3 degrees of freedom. Okay, now you're clear with that. And a manipulator is termed kinematically redundant when it possesses more degrees of freedom than it is needed to execute a given task. How's the manipulator it is going to be used? It is going to be execute the particular task in the working time principle to do the particular job condition. And the manipulator it will be in a different type of a condition like a serial and the parallel you have seen here, and there is much more different categories of manipulators will be acting when we are going to be for the different type of degrees of freedom and different type of access like in a coordinate systems. Then according to that coordinate system, according to that manipulator it is going to be work. Okay, if it is a spectral one, it should have more than 6 degrees of freedom, like 7 degrees of freedom, 8 degrees of freedom. We have any categories when we go within the spectral manipulator. We have 6 degrees of freedom, 7 degrees of freedom, and as well as 8 degrees of freedom. If we go within the parallel manipulator, we are going with a smaller. Why means in the parallel manipulator, we are using the sequential methodology. When we go within the spectral manipulator, we are going within a difficult high-end productivity development. That's why we are using in a higher end of degrees of freedom to make the balancing of that particular robot in a particular area of a dimension, and it makes to improve that particular area of a dimension to cast the particular product in a certain weightage of a limitation. That's why we are using a higher amount of the degrees of freedom. That degrees of freedom it is not to be used according to our condition only. It has a somewhat calculation that what was the distance and what was the working space around that. According to that working space and the degrees of freedom it is going to be used. And that degrees of freedom also, each and every degree, each and every from link to joint, there has a certain limitation and certain that category which can load the what we can say which can load the bearing capability for each and every link. According to that, the 6 degrees, 7 degrees, and the 8 degrees of freedom will be used. If it is parallel manipulator, it should have more than 3 degrees of freedom, says 4 degrees of freedom, 5 degrees of freedom. Mean that in a parallel manipulator we are going to be use in the sequential manner. In that sequential manner we have 3, 4, and 5. In the 3 degrees of freedom we are using in a 2 links and a 3 joints, that is called in a 3 degrees of freedom. And the 4 degrees, one more joint it is going to be an increase, and one more link also going to be an increase. Like that, when we are going to be an exponent of in a degrees of freedom, according to that the degrees and the links and joint is going to be implemented. And I told to These say that redundant manipulators are used to serve some specific purposes. Yeah. The redundant manipulator means, already I said you that the redundant manipulator and the sequential manipulator is used for the particular high-end uh, processing of in a job condition. High-end processing of in a job condition mean that in the redundant manipulator it is going to be used that high-end, like assembly processes like welding process, and to be in a pick and place or making for an a the high-end lifting of a particular objects and making to deliver the particular point-to-point origins. This type of robots can be used for the high-end type of task. In that, the redundant manipulator can be used. Why means we are using in a different like a high-end degrees of freedom for that particular robot. That's why it is going to be used over there. In inverse kinematics problem, it is of a particular, as we have learned at the previously the dynamics and the kinematics. When we learn about in a kinematic, every kinematic and the dynamic has any particular reason to do the particular task, and what was the distance we are using and what was the dimensions we are using. According to that distance and the dimension, the particular variancy of a probability is going to be a work. Like that, in the kinematic means the dy by dx and the distance variable and the accuracy and the sustainability will be going to be developed in that particular area of a length. Like that, here we are using the kinematic problems, like particular inverts in the case sense admin infrastructure solution that the kinematics mean, what was the main role of a kinematics, it is going to be use the particular what was the object will be. Now I'm going to explain in a clear manner. Wait a second. Yeah, here we have a particular object working pace. When the robot is there in this particular area, from here to here there has a different manipulative systems, and we have a different type of joints and links. The joints will be interconnected within a servo connectivity. It has an angle rotativity of 180 degrees, 360 degrees, and as well as 90 degrees also. According to our working condition, we can implement that particular area of length limitations. Okay, and here we have the end effector probability. The end effector probability, it is going to be used to make the particular job condition to pick, and making that the dimensions of that job condition in a particular area from pick and place in a particular area or not, and what was the dimensions of this particular job, and we are going to measure that the particular area of job, and as well as the color variancy also can be calculated by this. And the color variancy, if we want to calculate the color variancy, we have to use the color detecting sensor. But if we are not using the color detecting sensor, the color variancy of a probability, we are not going to get it. If we are using only the gripper probability, we have two types of an end effector. Already you have studied at the previous day. That is, one is gripper type and one is tool type. The gripper type and the tool type, it is going to be used according to our working conditions. The working conditions mean that the gripper type can be replaced by any time according to our working job condition. But the tool type, it is in a fixed condition for the robot. In the tool type, it is going to be used for that particular condition of a job only. But in the gripper type, we can use some multiple tools to make that modification of that particular object. Like that, the kinematics will be used over here. If we use the universal gripper, it is going to be used for a different type of a dimension. According to the dimension, it can be expand, it can be closer towards that, and it can make the rotative axis, and it can capture in that particular dimension of an area of working space. That's why the kinematics will be added in the redundant manipulator. Now we got clear about this. We can move on to the next slide. Yeah, what was a redundant manipulator and how it is going to work? Here you can see that the redundant manipulator is in a particular process to use in a particular condition. Here you can see that what was the from manipulator to end effector. What was the links and the joint it is going to be at, and what was the different type of axis it is going to be used. The cylindrical axis, the cylindrical coordinate, and the vertical coordinate, and the spectral coordinate. Every coordinate it is going to be at over here, and according with the coordinate, the joints in the links it is going to interconnecting with the primitive access of a microcontroller. Whatever the command probabilities we are giving from that teach box pendant, the manipulator it is going to be take it that command probabilities it is going to be decoding that particular data and giving that particular data towards the mission level language like a 0 and 1. As you learned at the previously, the 0 and 1, the mission level language it is going to give for this particular robot. And how's the particular commands it is going to be used? The manipulator has connected with this robot, and we have in all the joints. In this particular joint, what we are using? The servo motor. The servo motors are connected with this, and the hydraulic actuation has been connected with this. If we use the hydraulic, if we use the pneumatic, the drive system, according to the drive systems also, it is going to be a work. Okay. And whatever the commands we are giving, it is going to give for the servos or else for the drive system. According to the drive system, according to that servos, at the manual condition, it is going to be work with our TB pendant, teach box pendant. When we go with turn on to the automatic condition, the simulation process of a software will be for particular robot. As we discussed at the previously, for every type of a robot, we have an every type of a company, we have in a particular that compiling of a software like that. Here, if we go with the Mitsubishi, we have in one software that R3 toolbox. In that R3 toolbox, we have to firstly synchronize with the particular robot, and then after we will be getting the coordinating system. According to that coordinating system, we have to set the presetting topics of that, and we have to make that particular robot to move from one point to another point. Like that, the axis will be rotated. And here, the redundant manipulator, how it is going to be work here. This, if we copy with the person, the robot is going to be act like this. When we go with a 3D dimensional axis, we know that if we go with a 3D dimensional axis, at the particular condition, in the job condition, it will be in another way, and the working and the hand condition, it will be in another way. And if we are in the now in the condition of a job, mean that the Z axis will be in the upper and Y axis, and the X axis will be acting like this. Here, the upper arm will be interconnected with the particular joint, and the elbow rotation will be done over here, and the wrist mean that the end effector will be acting over here from the theta 1 to the theta 7. The angle rotations will be going to act, and the linear motions is going to be act over here. And here also you can see that the particular what will here they have given the base of the stronger, and here they have given the base of lighter. I mean, can the robot can bear the particular weightage? It cannot. Why? Means according to this robot, they are going to give the particular specification. According to this robot, they are going to give the particular specification. Like what if we think that it is in a joint world, how much the joint one can has capability, in what was the angle, till what angle it has a capability to store that particular. And here also they are going to mention that what was the angle will be, and what was the particular weight it can has a capability. And this robot can capability has till the 15 to 25 kgs, but this robot has a capability to 5 to 7 kgs. Why? Means the base is in the lighter way. The whatever the object it is going to be gripping, it cannot hold that particular object in a fixed plane. Or it is going to be a bend, or else it is going to be a due the somewhat defective condition. That on that time we are going to use this particular calculation. According to this particular calculation, we are going to get the passive output. Okay. And not only in this particular robots, when we go with the kinematics main, according to the calculation, we can rotate the any type of object in different type of angle rotation. Like this, here you can see that the chain, this is a snake. We can use as the underwater snake and as well as the ground snake also. And the underwater application, if you go with the underwater application, they are going to be detect, they are going to be interconnect, and they are going to be dig the particular area of a sensing. And as we have learned at the underwater application, on that time we have learned about the kinematic, the robot, how the geolocation is going to be at, and it how it is going to be show the exact location of that particular area, and how the data is going to be transmit for that particular person. We have seen it the previously. Like that only, here the kinematic is going to be at in how much degrees of freedom it is going to be at in what was the soft. If we take the example, if we take in a motor, and the soft will be in a rotative condition, and the body will be in the stationary condition. And the stationary condition the body will be, and the rotative condition the soft will be. And on that time the soft is going to be rotate. How is the coupling force it is going to be at, there the EMF value it is going to be use a generation to be in a rotative axis. Like that, here also we can see that what was the middle part will be, it is in a stationary condition in the flexible way. And what was the we are given the outer layer of a part, it is going to use for the degrees of freedom to according to the working condition at the probability areas. According to that it is going to be work. And here we are using a particular sensors and the digging material and the laboratory setup we can use according to the application probability and the environment of the probability. And it cannot enter the even the single point of a water also inside. Okay. And here we have a certain calculations, and xyz and the theta r p and the y, it is going to be represented the particular axis. Okay. And now we go on to the another degrees of freedom, mobility and degrees of freedom of spectral manipulator. And reductive manipulator have we have learned at the previously, and here we are going to learn the spectral manipulator. It first develops an analytical methodology in inverse and the integrates degrees of freedom, and antifitter and the parallel manipulator, and then the in. And here we are getting the analytics methodology. Analytics methodology means that the probabilistic condition which we are acting in a particular area of an working spaces. The analytics methodology means we are going to calculate, like it's not like any kinematics, but it is interrelated to that. The analytics methodology means it is mainly used in the biosciences. The biosciences mean the medical field, they are going to be used to implement that particular robot for a blood to cure the blood diseases and to cure the brain diseases. And the smaller type of a robot, it is going to be a inside of our body, and it is going to make the sense of that particular disease, and it is going to be a cure, and it is going to do that working condition. Okay. Now we got it about the analytics methodology, the parallel method. Then instantaneous contributely and the end effector and the discussion from the viewpoints of a position axis. Yeah, what was the end effector we are using in that particular end effector? We have one viewpoint. Viewpoint means that we are using in a particular sensor to be getting our viewpoints and getting our output. In that output, we are going to get the feedback sensitivity and the feedback methodology also in this particular area of degrees of freedom. Okay. And a character demonstration and the under accurate, over accurate, and the fully attributed manipulator. Here we have a different type of manipulators, and the actuation condition it is going to be give over here. Underwater application, it is it has used by the reductant manipulator. But in this spectral manipulator also it is going to be used in the particular conditions that it has a flexible body and it has a flexible manipulation process to implement in particular area of a domain. Okay, now we move on to the next slide. In the spectral manipulator, how was the spectral manipulator is going to be like this. The in balancing condition, it is going to be a balancing by itself, and it is going to be a viewpoint. Viewpoint means this was a viewpoint. Here you can see that here the job condition is there. This was the viewpoint. What was the job condition to do this? To dig the holes for that particular area of job, and this was the manipulator, spectral manipulator. And what was the dimension? It will be the stabilizing dimension. It will be in this particular stabilizing dimension, the particular workpiece it is going to be at over here, and this was like an end effector only in this viewpoint. In this end effector, we are going to use the different type of tools for according to our working condition. We can use for a writing mission, and we can use it for a digging purpose, and we can use it for the drilling purposes, and we can use it for drawing purposes. Any type of purpose according to our working principle in the real-time world, we can use this. And if we use this, the CAD modeling, this is a CAD modeling design that how's the real-time process it is going to work. And here we have the schematic diagram, mean that how was the inner part of an HVAC systems it is going to be work. And the limbs means that what was the main thing, what was the main effect it is going to be work, and what was the main load it is going to give, and what was the actuation system exactly it is going to be at, that is called as a limbs. Okay, and you have seen that we have in it different type of links and joints to interconnectivity and the different type of modeling. Firstly, when we are going to work on the particular project, we need a particular modeling. According to that particular modeling only we can get the exact output. How some modeling we have to define that according to our working condition and the real-time environment. If we are doing that particular product in a in-house or an outhouse, if we go with an in-house, uh, we didn't have any particular exponential properties. And if we go with an outhouse, and the wind system will be, and as well as the raining, mean that if the particular time the rain will fall also, it has to has an resistance to bear that particular raining system also. According to our working condition, we have to do that particular modeling. When we done that modeling, we have to test it on the prototyping. Then after doing of a prototyping, we have to launch that particular product. Now we have see here the parallel, sorry, serial planar manipulator. The serial planar manipulator mean that the serial condition mean in a single axis direction, what was the length will be, it will move on, and it is giving the particular weight direction in a particular point. And how is the particular point it is going to be calculate here. This is in the serial planar manipulator. The serial planar manipulator means here the point of an axis of a weight, it is going to be bear over here. From here to here there is one link, and the here there has one more joint. This joint it is going to be actuate this link, and this joint is going to be actuate this link. What was the main effect is falling on this point, and the subdomaining of an weight it is going to be add on these joints. Okay, now we got it. How was the serial manipulator will be works? And from here there has a q1, we are going to calculate that q1, and here the axis is q2, and here the axis is q3, and q1 q2 q3 is equal to the q0, mean that here whatever the axis is there, the particular all the weights it is going to be act on the single weight of the particular area. Okay, and we are getting here that n1 is equal to 4 and m is equal to 4. n1 and m is equal to 4, and c1 is equal to c2 is equal to c3 is equal to c4 is equal to 1. Okay, and modified that, this was the equation which we are going to calculate that particular area it can bear that weight or not, and it has a capability to reach until that heights or not. We can by using of this calculation we can make that particular design or that particular product into in a market. Gulger's calculation to determine the degrees of freedom of different types of a manipulator. Now we have in a already seen that serial planar manipulator, so we got the degrees of freedom as a 4. Okay, now you have seen here degrees of freedom, 4 degrees of freedom, and here this is a serial manipulator because all the links are in serial condition. Yeah, which I have said you at previously, whatever the links are in the serial condition, that is called as the serial planar manipulator. Planar, why we have taken the planar in between this serial manipulator? The planar base, it is giving in a particular area towards an upper direction in a serial condition. That's why we are giving in the serial planar manipulator. And the serial link manipulator has in several links numbered 0 to n connected by the joints numbered 1 to n, the joint j connected link j1. Yeah, here we have that at the previously we have connected with that the links from point a to uh, the starting point to ending point, and we have in a different type of links. In that particular different type of links we have in a different type of joints. That joints it is going to be activate from point 1 to point infinity till what we are using. And here we have a different type of representations also, the coordinate representation. According to the coordinate representation, that angle rotations according to our deviation of an angle processes, it is going to be a work. Here you can see that a parallel planar manipulator. The parallel planar manipulator, nothing but that, it is also like in a the it is also like in the previous condition of a manipulators, and this was somewhat different. It is like in a balancing condition only, but it has in the balancing condition at the base. And previously we have studied that is in the balancing condition at the upper word, but it has in a balancing condition at the base. And upper condition, it is going to be interlinking part. The interlinking part, it is going to act in a particular area of a base. Intermediate link and platform, slider, and the linear guide. The linear guide is going to be a work that the working space of the working space to give the particular base. Okay, and slider mean it has an access to move on in a different condition and different balancing platforms. And this was the platform which we are going to be use in the job condition. Okay, intermediate link means which was the base link will be and the platform will be. We are going to interconnecting with the platform and as well as in a base. This was the thing which we are using here. And how we can calculate this particular planar manipulator? N1 n is equal to 7 and m is equal to 9, ci is equal to 1, where I is equal to 1 to 9, mean that from particular point 1 to point 9 we are using this. And if we use that particular manipulator in the circumference of the degrees of freedom, and we have the triangular system, and in this triangular system we are giving the interconnection between one to another to give the balancing condition in the any case of any places. This was the manipulator which we use for the balancing conditions at anywhere. And here you can see that how was the parallel planar manipulator will be works and how it is going to give us the particular output. Wait a second, guys. Okay, now you got it that the different type of the conditions that to draw and to make the placing that particular product in a single variancy, and to make that particular product to give the exact accuracy and the facing of that product and the drilling of that product, we can use that manipulator, and it has an exact accuracy point to point origin position, and it makes the most accurate process. And now we can learn here that the parallel spectral manipulator. The parallel spectral manipulator mean that the spectral parallel mechanism shown in the main up to 4 PPU mean that prismatic pair and two universal pair. Prismatic pair mean that here you can see that there has in two pairs, the prismatic pairs. When that in the prismatic joint, how it is be, the linear joint will be accessed like that. Here the prismatic pairs is there in this particular prismatic pairs and two universal pairs, and this was the universal pair which you have learned about the universal joints, and here you have the universal pairs. You have a universal pair to rotate in any type of an access system. Okay, now we got it. It makes the main sensing of that, and here you can say that slider, gloid, and universal pairs, and limbs, and as well as a manipulator. The limbs it is going to be used for the particular supporting process, and the universal pairs it is going to use for to give the particular angle rotation in particular area of the dimension. And the slider, you know that how, what was the working principle of a slider and how it is going to be used. And glide means to give the particular midpoint for in a particular object. Mean if the glider it is going to be detect that yeah it is in the limitation position up to here only, you have to be move on until after this position the particular area of a job will be stopped. Okay, and the spectral mechanism to be in four kinematic chains connecting the manipulator with the base, and then study the protocol screws of each kinematic chain. Okay, we have a rip protocol of an each and particular area, and it makes the each kinematic chains, because all the kinematic chain connecting manipulator with the base of identical, we can simplify the process of analysis. For example, we can analyze the p1 b1, mean that the point one and the body one, whatever the p1 is there, this is p1, and this is body one, whatever the interconnected with the working space, and as well as the limbing system of the particular slider wave, and p1 and b1, and create the local Cartesian coordinate shown in b1 and p. And here we have mentioned that only the b1 and p1 is the project, and the b1 is the x4y. Mean that when we go within the 3D dimension, we have any three types, that x, y, and z. According to this, here if we have any the graphical representation, how is the axis it is going to be work like x, o, and x, o, y. We mean that the particular x-axis will be rotated and the 0 point will be added, and the y-axis will be rotated like that. The xy plane will be added over here, and ob ob1p ob1p means that whatever the axis from the point of 0 to the angle rotation and the point origin with which it is going to be set it down, that is the ob1. Like that, the final the thing is that it is the particular object to be in a balancing condition according to any type of the twisting process also it can be worked. If you go give the twisting process also, we have a universal joint to give any type of rotative for this, and it makes the most accurate productivity and most accurate producting in that particular way point to point differentiations. And here also you can see that the point to point differentiation will be added, and the universal joint and the hook joint. The universal joint, it is called as a hook joint, already you know that, people. And the prismatic joint will be added, and we have got one spectral joint, and similarly we have got the 6 such legs. And what was the representation of this particular area on this particular joint is that here we are going to represent that what was the joints it is going to be at, and what was the particular actuation systems it is going to be work over here. And the top plane in the nothing but this, so this is the nothing but top plane, and the particular manipulator and the base and plate is kept fixed to the ground. Yeah, whatever the thing we are going to do also, firstly we have an stability from the ground base. Firstly, if we are going to design any type of a product, firstly we have to have a certain stabilization at the ground, then only we can do the any type of working condition at a moment. Okay, that they have mentioned over here. And here the hook joint it is going to be at, and according to the working condition, the particular angle rotation, like in a beta it is going to be an axis, and the alpha it is going to be an axis. The alpha rotation will be here, and the beta rotation will be like this. Okay, and x, y, and the z axis, like the x direction, y direction, and the z direction. In what condition it is? In the job condition. In the job condition, the x and y condition will be like this only. When we go with the end effector of the working the hand condition, there will be another representation of an xyz. And here you can see that how it is going to be work, and how it is going to give the exact accuracy for that particular actuation system. And in the industrial purposes, how it is going to be work, and what was the working system of that, and what was the picking place, and how it can detect that particular object in that in that the deviation systems of the particular area of a limitation.
Be careful because like our answer any questions? No, not right now. Awesome. They're really manufacturing in Boca. Sorry, I didn't mean to. This are.
But we're just simply using pneumatics to drive it. We build it 3 sizes. We don't do any specials.
No, I told him I said ship one out.
That'd be cool too.
Yep. I didn't know what the pieces are. Are they all the same or they're different? They all look the same or?
Yep, these are
6 identical pieces.
We're just simply using pneumatics to drive it. We build it three sizes. We don't do any special. You can't get it. You can build it.
Yeah, that was all the things, guys, which the real-time industry which they are going to be work, and how's the real-time industry is going to be working different type of actuation system and as well as a drive system that you have learned. Thank you so much for today's class.